Howdy, and welcome to the Lost Rider podcast. It's an honor and privilege to address you in the capacity of an interviewer, reporter, and media member. Too many modern media outlets have forgone the integrity and responsibility required of credible information sources. What you will receive here are straightforward discussions with legislators, agency leaders, biologists, engineers, doctors, and countless other experts that have the answers to questions often circulated as kitchen table issues. The title Lost Rider may be thought of literally as well as in the metaphorical sense. While there has been the instance that I was momentarily a little turned around at night in a wilderness area, the idea of being a lost rider in life, well, that fits most folks at some time. These renderings are coming to you in the form of the 25-year-old radio program, The News from the Camp House. It still airs every Saturday morning at 6:30 a.m. Central Time on KULM 98.3 FM out of Columbus, Texas. The original intent was to relate outdoor topics to the general public. Immediately, it was found that all issues are relatable to the outdoors and that people are people. They all play a role and they all have a vested interest. It's this program's desire to answer common questions about how the world works, how it will operate in the future, and what's the holdup. So please listen, enjoy, and never hesitate to contact us with more questions and feedback. Good morning and welcome to this weekend's edition of News from the Camp House, listening post of the Texas Sportsman Association. This is Herman Brune. This weekend's edition is also brought to us by Shaw's Bend Social Club, country club folks who don't have a country club. All right, I'll tell you what, we've been beating ourselves up over water issues for the last month and a half. Now we're going to take it a little bit easier. We're getting towards hunting season, and I thought it'd be a good time to talk to some old buddies, some old gun riders that we all know. And we'll start off this morning. We got Sheriff Jim Wilson with us. Jim, how you doing?
Oh, I'm fine, Herman. It's good to talk to you, my friend.
Yes, sir. Man, I completely lose track of time. You were the sheriff in Crockett County, and then you retired. How long ago was that?
I retired in 97 and started writing full time. And in about 2001, I moved over here to Alpine, and which is, of course, the center of known universe. Anyway, I've just been enjoying it over here in the mountain country, and still writing, trying to make a living.
All right. Now, where can people find you? If my listeners, if there's anybody out there that's not familiar with Sheriff Jim Wilson as a gun writer, where can they find you?
I'm writing primarily now for the NRA magazines and for their online websites. However, I've done work for Gun Digest Annual and also for True West magazine in the past. Periodically, I'll do something for True West or Gun Digest, and then others as the assignments come up. But primarily, it's for the NRA magazines.
All right, and your focus is handguns.
Primarily, yes.
All right. Well, tell me. I mean, we're all pretty easy here. You write a bunch about the old single actions and some of the older model handguns. I have not noticed a lot of your writing being about any of the more modern ones.
Well, you're exactly right. I just I hunt with single actions, and I've just always liked the single actions. For hunting, I really like the old model Rugers. I've taken more game with my old flat top 44 Magnum Blackhawk than anything else, and they just shoot well for me. It works for me, and so I'm not going to quit winters.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what I carry. Uh, I went to a little match one time, and they said bring your favorite carry gun, and I pulled that bugger out, and I don't think they expected that.
Actually, that's right.
Uh,
I'll tell you another one I really like are the Freedom Arms guns, and the I've got a 44 Magnum Freedom Arms, and have until recently had a 454 Freedom Arms. I really like those. Freedom Arms makes a great gun.
all right, tell me, where's Freedom Arms out of?
They're out of Freedom, Wyoming, and they've they kind of, I guess they were probably the first company to chamber a gun in 454,
Hi.
and they just make a really fine handgun.
All right.
For everyday carry, I prefer the old model Ruger, but for hunting, you sure can't beat the Freedom Arms.
What have you been to their shop?
No, I haven't. We're all members of the Shootist group, and that's where I knew Bob Baker and his dad Wayne Baker. Wayne Baker, his dad is deceased now, but he's the one that started the company.
Shootist group. Explain that.
Well, it's a group that John Taffin and some of the guys started in about 1986, and we get together once a year in the summer. Now it's at the Whittington Center. They're near Raton, and it's just 4 days of kind of traditional shooting, and mostly revolvers, mostly single actions, but just about anything a fellow wants to bring. But just an awfully good group of people. A lot of industry folks in it, and we just have a big time. It's truly a holiday with our guns.
All right, we're talking about the 44 Ruger, flat tops. Do you have a scope on that?
No, sir, I don't. I still shoot iron sights.
All right, how far are you good with that?
I've made some longer shots. I try to keep my shots inside 50 yards if I possibly can.
All right.
And
I
that's pretty much what I work at. I think a year or so ago I got a feral hog at about 62 yards, but made a headshot on him. But I try to stay within 50 yards.
Right. Okay, and I ought to clarify it when I say that, because shooting at targets is one thing. Shooting in a hunting situation is totally different. Yeah, I don't stretch a shot with a pistol past about 20, 30 yards. After that, it goes to my 30-30. But
right.
But on a target, I'm not scared to wang away. I've got the silhouette range behind the house, and
sure.
At 200 meters, I shoot all around them darn chickens. I ain't knocked one down yet, but I got.
Well, and that's me. If it's an old coyote out there, well, I'll try him as far as I can see him. But if it's a game animal, I try to respect the game animals, and I'll tell you a good little test. If you'll go down and buy some of those dessert-sized paper plates, which are they're about 6 to 8 inches in diameter. Set one of those up. Now, using field positions, not a bench rest. Find the distance where you can put all your shots on that dessert-sized paper plate.
Right.
That's your practical distance.
Right.
And of course, the more we practice, the more we're able to maybe extend that a little.
Yes, sir. I'm trying to remember. I think the best shot that I ever made, and in a hunting situation, and where I had eyewitnesses, was I shot a hog across the Colorado River, and
Oh boy.
I had time. The dogs had it cornered up, and it broke away, and was running up the trail up the riverbank, and got away from the dogs for just a second, and I had stood there long enough and ciphered the distance and the drop and all that stuff, and dropped one in on him, and I don't know if it would have killed him, but it made him stop, and then the dogs had him again, and
there you go.
Then we had him.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's about like a coyote. You're not, when it comes to a hog, you might not be so you go ahead and stretch.
Yeah.
Stretch one out if you need to. Yeah.
Oh, those are destructive critters, and every one of them you shoot, your farmer or rancher will sure appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. The time we did that, we were in Colorado River bottom where someone had a bunch of corn planted on the river.
Uh-huh.
And we ran them out of the corn, and they went down the riverbank, hit the river. The hog and the dogs all went across the river. And when they got to the other bank, they stood and fought for a little while, and then that hog broke and run up the bank.
Yep.
And I was fortunate. And I'm not going to claim I'd do that every time either.
No, but a fellow that shoots a lot will have some of those lucky shots every so often.
Yes, sir. So, no, it sure is good to hear from you. Boy, I didn't remember. I used to visit you in the jailhouse at Ozona. That was friendly visit.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We didn't search you or handcuff you or anything.
No.
Well, most of the time we didn't.
Yeah, it was all volunteer stuff. I was headed to go to work in Big Lake, and I just stopped by and say howdy. Yes.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember that you and I met when years ago we came down for that Trailhead shoot.
That's at my house.
John Wooters and Finn Auger and I were down there. I can't remember what year that was, but that would have been in the early 90s, wouldn't it?
Yes, sir. That was. Do you remember Grits Grisham being there? And
No, I don't.
Bart Skelton.
Joe Bowman was there.
Joe Bowman was there.
I don't remember whether Bart was with us or not. I know Wooters was, and Finn Auger was there.
Right.
But
we had a campfire back here behind my house.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's exactly correct. And Bart was there.
Y'all had us. Yes. Y'all had us stay in some nice travel trailers.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was a fun deal. But I'm almost positive that's the first time you and I met.
That's very possible. That's very possible.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what. Let's see. Why don't we take a quick break and thank the folks who let us come on here every Saturday morning. We'll be right back. Thank goodness for all the great sponsors we have here at News from the Camp House. H-E-B Food Stores. That's Stephen Tice at H-E-B. He helps me. He helps the community. He's a great man. I'm so thankful H-E-B loosened him up, lets him go around and sponsor a few things. H-E-B's got all your food needs. It's the greatest food store we got here in Columbus. Thank goodness for H-E-B. First State Bank. You go over to the First State Bank, they'll take care of all your loans, all your deposits, your savings, anything you need. Bunch of great hometown people over there. You got Celia Tobias, John Pollock. Everybody over there is looking out for you. Miss Barbara Barta. It's a great bunch of folks at the First State Bank is also sponsoring News from the Camp House. First State Bank takes care of all my business. Baumgart Agency, Susan Baumgart at the Baumgart Agencies, her and Germania. She told me to plug Germania. Germania is an insurance that she likes everybody to know about. The Baumgart Agencies. Miss Susan and I are classmates, being classmates. She got me out of high school, sat right beside her, put us in alphabetical order where I could copy. And Susan Baumgart over at the Baumgart Agency taking care of all your insurance needs. Lyco Realty. Lyco Realty, one of the original sponsors of News from the Camp House. Lyco Realty, the oldest real estate company in the county, and for the last 3 years voted the favorite realtor in the county. Lyco Realty, that's Miss Kimberly Johnson. That's Crockett's granddaughter. More kinfolks and classmates and great people from Colorado County. People from Colorado County helping people from Colorado County. That's great. Oh, thank goodness for all these wonderful people come to me want to be sponsors for News from the Camp House. Good morning and welcome to the second half of this week's News from the Camp House. Listening post of the Texas Sportsman Association. It's Herman Brune. We're here this weekend with two gun riders. We got Sheriff Jim Wilson and Shane Jahn. Is that how you pronounce your last name, Shane?
Some do, but I pronounce it John.
John, just plain old John. You Jahn.
Yes, sir.
But you say John. All right, well, that makes it a little easier on everybody. And, yeah, well, all right. You and Sheriff Jim are out there in Alpine, and it's kind of neat. Now, you're retired Border Patrol?
Yes, sir.
All right. How long have you been retired?
Almost a year. It'll be the end of this month will be 1 year since I retired.
All right. So you've been playing this writing game for a little bit before you retired.
Oh, yes, sir. 10 years before and pretty much full time for the last year as a freelancer.
Yes, sir. Where can people find your stuff?
Okay. Well, guntales.net is a online site that Jim and I both have. And monthly I write for Texas Outdoors Journal and Gun Digest Annual. And for Safariland has a blog, the Cadre Dispatch, and I write for them off and on, throughout the year. And a few other places that come up, but those are pretty much the main ones right now.
Do any of them give assignments, or do they pretty much just turn you loose?
It just depends. Some do. I mean, a lot of times I'll pitch ideas and talk to the editors about it. Every once in a while they'll come to me with an idea, asking, do I want to write about this, that, or the other? Of course, Bill Olson, and Bill and I talk all the time, so usually every conversation we come up with something else. So yeah, I pretty much got a full slate with Bill for probably the next year and a half of ideas that we want to cover.
No, that's good. Oh yeah, and Bill Olson, that's Texas Outdoor Journal.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So my listeners know where to go there. All right. Now, on the same hand, whereas in the first half I was talking to Sheriff Jim about, he writes a lot about single action revolvers. You do the same, but you also cover, like, the thing I read the other day was about the 86 Winchesters.
Yes, sir. I like those old lever guns and a lot of the traditional stuff. I like to cover those things more, but I like those old Winchester lever actions in particular.
All right. I'm 68. How old are you?
Fixing to be 51.
Oh Lord. Okay. So you got a whole nother career ahead of you. Yeah. No, that's good. That's great. I'm glad to see somebody writing about. You wrote something about an 86 Winchester and a 33 Winchester centerfire. And I remember we talked about it, and I said, 33 Winchester, what the hell is that? That was not, I was, I've got an 86 and 4590. I've got a 73 and 4440. Of course, I've got traditional 94 and 3030. And, I'm trying to remember the 33 Winchester centerfire. That's not a 3030.
No, it's a 4570 neck down to 338 caliber. It's an old cartridge.
Okay, 4570 neck down to 338. Well, that sounds relatively potent.
It does, and it is. I mean, you're talking, 200 grain bullet around 2,000, 2,200 feet per second. It's a neat old round. It's hard to come by now. You have to kind of look for some specialty loading outfits. You can get a die to form your 4570 brass and neck it down to 338. I've done that a little bit, but there are a few places where you can get it occasionally. I don't know why I wish one of the cartridge manufacturers would make a run every once in a while, because there's a lot of those old 86s around in 33 Winchester. If you look on Gunbroker and places, you'll find a lot of those rifles. It's just hard to get the ammo for them.
Right. And it's not, it's like I said, to me, well, you look for that stuff. To me, it's not as common. I think of a 38 55, and then it immediately goes to 4570, and the old 4065 and all those are not calibers that people remember unless you're in that game.
Right. Yeah. Those old cartridges like that are kind of a specialty deal these days. But the 4570 is still going strong.
Right.
You still get the 4590s.
Well, you got to build those cartridges. You got to build
right.
The 4570s, you can buy those on the shelf. The 4590, you got to build.
Well, there are a few places that have them.
Really?
Actually, I just saw the other day where Buffalo Bore has some new loads out in the 4590.
I'll be darned. Okay, I was completely unaware of that. There's more stuff around nowadays. If you're going to give Democrats credit for anything, they can drive gun sales.
That's right.
And that's one thing I say about Pittman Roberts. I'm going, well, they are supporting, even if they're just running their mouth, they're at least ways they're supporting wildlife conservation by pushing gun sales and ammunition. So, and all that 9% excise tax on that goes right straight to wildlife conservation. So, that's kind of a backwards way of getting there, but it's also, to me, that kind of stuff's humorous. So, what else? You had the 86. Have you played with the 71?
No, not yet. Anyway, I don't have one yet, but I keep looking for one of those. The editor for the Hunting Wire, I've been doing some work for him on lever actions. If you follow that, it's a pretty good website. And this year we've been covering lever actions all year, and he has a real nice 71 that he keeps tempting me that he might sell it to me one of these days, but he hadn't done it yet.
That's Jim Shepard?
No, Jay Penske is the editor for that now.
Jay Penske, okay. All right, yeah, and for my listeners, again, when we're talking about a Model 71 Winchester, we're talking about a 348. And the boys...
That's the gun that knocked... Oh, I'm sorry, but that's the gun that knocked the 33 Winchester. That's the gun and cartridge that knocked it out. Was the 348 in the Model 71. That was the upgrade that overtook it.
All right. And see, and that's what some of my buddies up north pack around. That's one of their elk guns is that 348. They like that.
Another good old cartridge, yeah.
Right. So, and one of the things that I've witnessed is that in the last few years, when you go to some of these conferences and everybody drags their guns out, you have all the manufacturers at these conferences. It's only been in the last 10 years that you see lever guns come back out again. There for a long time, there were no booths with lever guns in them. And at these conferences where you get to shoot everything, I saw a difference and it amazed me because I grew up shooting lever guns, and guys that couldn't shoot them. It surprised me. I'd pick it up and just go to wanging away on stuff, and saw these other boys come over there, and hell, they couldn't hit nothing. And
well, it was a new platform to them. You know, it was probably just something they didn't have any experience with.
Yeah, but well, I figure you line up the sights and squeeze the trigger, and you're gonna hit it with whatever you got in your hands.
Right.
And apparently, I'm not correct on that, because
well, I think a lot of folks have not been exposed to iron sights.
Well, that's true.
Like
too.
a lot of us had. Now, the first rifles, a lot of guys shoot or scoped, or now have the red dots, so they've not shot the iron sights.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm getting to be an antique. But anyhow, no, it's all good. It's good. I'm just tickled. We have shooting events. Jim's been to the house. You need to come to the house. We've got shooting events.
Fun.
Yeah, we've got shooting events going on at the house every weekend, and so you sure need to come down and visit.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah, we need to do that. Jim and I have been planning on doing some different things with our Guntail site, maybe going to some gun shows and stuff. So maybe we can just keep on heading east and show up at your place one of these days.
Absolutely. October the 10th through 12th is the Texas Outdoor Riders Stampede. And on Saturday, it starts off with sporting clays, and then a pistol match at the Cowboy Action Shooting Town. And then after the pistol match, will be crossbows. We'll have a crossbow match. And then Sunday is the PRS Precision Long Range match Sunday morning. And immediately after that will be the walkthrough 3D archery course. So that'll all take place October the 11th and 12th there on our place.
That sounds like a good time.
Well, there'll be 2 bull riding performances and 2 days of chili cook-off and 3 days of music, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So, well, Shane, thanks for being with us this morning.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this morning's edition of News from Camp House. A little break from all the technical stuff we've been doing, just talking to some great guys, gun riders that always have a lot of good information. Go look them up, NRA magazines, or else it's guntalk.net. Is that correct, Shane?
Guntails.
Guntails.net. All right. And Shane Jahn, Jahn, if you look him up, Shane Jahn and Sheriff Jim Wilson. They a couple of good gun riders out there in Alpine, Texas. All right. Now, everybody go out, have a great weekend. This weekend's edition is also brought to us by Shaw's Bend Social Club, country club for folks who don't have a country club. Have fun, be safe, and y'all just remember, pretty much any day is sure a good day to be out in the woods.